What is Gucci Manucci's? Darwin Ortiz here. If you are tuning in, welcome to the Half Court Podcast. We are back like we never left, and I got a special guest with me. I got my boy, David Vargas. What's up, man?
What's up, man? I just want to say thank you for having me, man. It's something I've been wanting to do, so to finally get that opportunity, I'm grateful and I'm blessed, and, I appreciate you, man, for the opportunity.
Hell yeah, man. We are excited to have people like you, and let me start off by just saying, man, just kind of introduce yourself, man, what you do, and just go from there, bro.
Yeah, man, my name is David Vargas. I'm a barber here in Oklahoma City. I also do photography on the side. I try to be as creative as I can. So anywhere where I could create, I try to get my toes dipped in there. I try to do a little bit of everything. But, it all starts with, for me drawing to taking pictures to, just being on sets with buddies of mine that are filmmakers and, cutting people up, making them feel good,
Nice.
For the culture,
Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. So let's start off with the barber part of it, man. You are a pretty talented barber. Kind of give us the insight of how you start the process of barbering.
Well, the way it all started was when I was like around in middle school. I would watch my big brother cut hair, and I'd be around the guys, and I just liked the brotherhood that they had and the communication and just the way people would vibe in the shop together. And I was just a little youngin', and I would just sweep the floors, just be around older people and just gather some wisdom that they would say, try to learn a little bit of everything. And, buddies of mine would be like, man, I'm going to go get a cut. Let's go. And I'd be like, you know what? Save your money. Let me practice on you, try to do good for them, because I would see them go get cuts at Esteticas and stuff. And I mean, nothing wrong with Esteticas, but, it wouldn't be like a top-notch cut. So I was like, man, let me learn. Let me try to get my shine.
You was like, yeah, let me give you a little blessing here. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, bro, that's pretty tight, man. And where would you say, like, as far as like when you started, how long have you been doing the barbering stuff?
Well, right now I'm 22, so I started doing this my freshman year. It was when I first started, it wasn't something that I had in mind to do permanently. It was just something that, I just wanted to make my friends feel good. I mean, at first, just like anything else, you're not the best at it. You're not the best, so I would tell them like, hey, don't tell nobody I cut your hair until the cut starts coming out good. And then once you get that compliment, that's when you tell people. And I mean, just being around older people and being the young bull, you just try to, you do the best to keep up, So
Gotcha.
Once I started doing the best I can, I started seeing improvements, compliments from other people in the industry, and it was just a great feeling. I think around my junior year, I even got asked to do a showcase for the first time. So to be able to be this young person and be able to teach other people how I work, or tips and stuff, and people paying to see that, it was just a good feeling in my life, to where I was like, dang, like, this is paying off. This is something that feels good. It was just good for me.
And now I'm pretty sure you're at the point where, like, you see maybe somebody posting a snap like, I got blessed by David, and that, how's that feel? Like, that's probably one of the, like, satisfying feelings, huh?
Yeah, most definitely. To see people come in all quiet and, you just feel like they're down, and they get a haircut, and then later on Snap, they're like, yeah, I never get disappointed. My boy got me in. He got me right. And just to see their confidence boost, it's a great feeling for me, and it kind of helps me drive on my next cut and on my next day. It just makes me want to improve better and better. Even the other day, I had somebody that had never got a cut by me, and he was like, yeah, my brother came in and I saw his haircut, and I was like, hey, book me an appointment with your barber. What's up? Like, you being stingy right now. So I cut his hair, and I was like, man, I'm gonna see the reaction I can get out of him. And man, I turned him around. He looked at the mirror, and he was like, bro, I've never had an edge up in my life. I was like, what? I mean, I don't got an edge up, but I was like, damn, bro, that's tight. Like, just to give a young person like that feeling it's a blessing, and it's something that I can control. So the fact that I was able to control the fact that he could feel better about himself, that was just amazing.
It gives you confidence, man.
Yeah,
like, once you blow somebody up, it's confident, like a confidence booster. You feel like you're gonna own the world, man.
Yeah, man. For
it's
sure.
like my boy AV would say, hide your bitches. You know what I'm saying? So it's awesome. And like, the process of you starting from now, like, what has been like the big changes you've seen? For like, what's the negative part of it, what's the positive, and what's going to be the future of like the barbering and what you want to do with it?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like I said, every day. I mean, you wake up, you do some cuts, you make people feel good. But that's the thing when you do good. When you start doing good, you start getting a lot of people being negative because they see how independent you are and how good you've been doing on your own. So people are like, man, like he's doing good. He's doing all that on his own. Like I'ma hate on him, and I don't know why it's like that. Because I mean, there's plenty of success out there for anybody. Anybody can get a little bit of the bowl, you know. Everybody could feed themselves, get a little bit. Everybody eats, you know. So some people they'll see you, they'll see you're young, they see you're doing good, and it's kind of like envy, you know. They want that,
because
but
they ain't doing good. Then
yeah, but at the same time, I'm like yo, I'm not a closed-minded person. If you like the way I go through life, or the way I cut hair, the way I maneuver myself, like ask me, you know, like ask me. I'm not gonna judge you. I'm not gonna little bro you, you know. If you want to learn some tips, I'll show you, you know. Like I said, I believe in karma, so if I could help somebody improve their game, you know, at the same time my game's gonna improve as well. Even if it's not cutting hair, maybe it's just my morality, you know. Maybe people are like, damn, he's a good dude. Like that's something that I want to improve on. Because I mean, at the end of the day, you are who you are based off of the way you treat people. It's not what you do, it's the way you treat people. Because I mean, you could be the best barber in the world, but if you treat people bad, you know, what's the whole point of that?
Yeah, I definitely understand that side of it. And it's like people want to see you better. They want to see you good, but not better than them. And just some of them just don't want to see you good at all. Like it's just, you just gotta, I guess, block them and just do you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
for sure. And I mean, even that, like people are happy when you're at the top, but they get happier when you fall off the top. You know,
crazy.
That's some real shit. Like people will sit there and be like, "Hey, good job," but what matters is behind the closed doors. I mean, in my face, you could tell me I'm doing good, but if one day I'm having a bad day or business isn't going good, and you celebrating behind doors, like, yeah, you see, he's having a bad day too. Like, I'm like, come on, bro. You know, you don't gotta feel like that.
Yeah. As far as you know, the where you want to take your barbering skills, and what are you planning on doing on the future? What are the plans for that?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, like I said, I'm just trying to improve day by day. My mission every day is to try to get myself out of my comfort zone, because you know, comfort is the enemy if you don't try to test new stuff. And it's been a while since I've tested new stuff. Even then, I kind of felt like I've been missing my drive. So now I'm gaining that again, and it's just like, it's a good feeling. I mean, of course, as a barber, you want to one day own a shop, have people working for you. But it's not so much working for you, but building a team, you know, somebody to represent the brand. Because, I mean, you could hire a bunch of barbers, but if they don't have the same morality or the same drive as you, like, or at least try to help each other be on the same page and just grow as a team, then what's the point of owning that shop, you know? Because
I think that's very important, man. Like, I think just the connection that you have with your team, and then just not feel like, if let's say somebody's the owner of the barber, just have them feel more of a leader than a boss, you know?
Yeah.
And then just y'all help each other out, and just the vibes are there, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely get what you're saying on that, and it's very important to kind of, you know, embrace the team and like just keep growing.
Yeah, hell yeah. And just as a team, you know, that you could have that team, but sometimes, you know, like there's circumstances where people will hate each other even if they're on the same team. But it's not even that. Like, you know, check your team. Like, hey, like we need to help each other. You want to improve your business? Like, let's go to social media. Let's try to help you brand yourself. You know, that way you could grow. Let's put you more out there. Let's give you more light. You know, show yourself a little bit more. Because I mean, sometimes people are insecure about their work, and I'm like, nah, bro. Like, we each have our own style. We all have something different to bring to the table. So why not bring it? You know, like what's your excuse to not be the best you when you can control yourself to be the best you?
Right.
Nothing holds you back but yourself. You got that choice.
I definitely get that on that. Now, going to the barber part, like, has there been a tough situation where maybe this is when you started, where you like fucked up a cut and you're like, oh shit, how do I come out of this? Like, what has been like the toughest situation as far as fucking up a cut?
Man, everybody fucks up.
I'm
That's
pretty
one
sure
thing
they
I
do.
want to say too. I
But
mean,
somebody,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure every barber fucks up. I mean, it's part of the process.
Yeah.
But some of them, you just don't even know when, and they kind of play it off. So
Yeah, for sure,
it's like, can you just kind of tell me, like, when was a time that you fucked up and you were like, how do I fix this? And, like, what the fuck am I going to do?
Yeah, well, when I first started cutting hair, man, I remember this. I was cutting up my good friends, you know. I was cutting them up, and I was telling them, you know, like, don't tell people I'm cutting your hair until I do a good job. And finally, yeah, this guy complimented my buddy, was like, hey, bro, your cut is fresh. Like, who's your barber? And he was like, oh, let me introduce you to him. We introduced each other and stuff, and then he was like, can you cut my hair? And I was like, yeah, bro, I'll cut your hair. But this was the first time I cut somebody outside of my circle. So, man, I was cutting him up, and he was like, hey, man, I want a 2 on top. So I was like, man, this is a breeze, you know, a 2 on top,
Easy
that's
peasy.
nothing. But I didn't know he meant a 2 with the grain. You know, that's going with the grain, so you don't really take much off. But I went against the grain, and he was like, bro, this is short. I was like, oh, shit. And I'm like, nah, bro, it's good. Like, I'm not even done yet. He was like, bro, you went short. I was like, yeah, I did, bro. Let me just fix you up. And I mean, I improvised, you know. I still delivered the fade. I still delivered the edge up. So at the same time, it wasn't much that it was a bad haircut. It just wasn't the haircut he wanted. But I know I did have something to do with that. You know, I knew I didn't listen to him. Yeah, you know.
That's pretty much very important too, to kind of like listen to the client.
Yeah, communication, man. If you guys don't have the same game plan, I mean, it's not gonna come out the way y'all want it, you know.
Gotcha. Yeah, definitely,
sure.
man, definitely. So as far as that the, you know, the barbering stuff and where you want to go, is there anything else you want to, you know, give maybe the listener that's maybe an upcoming barber, any advice, any tips? Yeah,
well, one thing as a barber is never try to settle for the validation of others. So don't cut hair, and if somebody tells you, yo, like, you're whack, like, bro, first off, your comment doesn't have nothing to do with me. Your comment doesn't feed my family. It doesn't help me as an individual. So at the same time, if you value that comment, you destroy yourself. So you got to learn to value certain things. So negativity is one of those things you don't value, you know? So
right, I think it's more of finding the positive side of it. He took the time to comment something of hate. That means he's looking, he's watching.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Take it as that, huh?
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, back to that validation thing. I mean, people are gonna talk regardless. You know, you can't satisfy the world. You really can't. So on top of that, just know that when you start off, you're not gonna be a great. And if you are, good for you. You know, like that's what's up. Like, you're doing good as a beginner. That's tight. But I mean, every day when you grab that clipper, or every cut when you grab that clipper, just give the best that you can be. Like, control what you can control. So if you could be better, watch videos, invest in yourself. Because if you're not investing in yourself, and then investing doesn't have to mean money or anything. It could just be knowledge, you know. Look up a video.
Maybe looking up some tutorials, getting better at it, you know, at your craft.
Yeah, for sure. You could even watch other barbers on social media, see how they promote themselves or how they market themselves, and you could learn from that. I mean, there's new barbers every day, you know.
Right.
You could be the greatest at the moment, but there's probably a 13-year-old cutting up his friends in the garage right now that's about to be a legend, and you don't even know that. But you're underestimating people around you. So at the same time, you got to be at your tip-top game on your own. Don't focus on what other people. There's plenty of hair out there for everybody. So don't be saddened when somebody stops fucking with you. Like, yo, like, do that. My fault for cussing, you know. But
you good.
Yeah. So don't feel bad if somebody stops cutting their hair with you. Plenty of people are gonna come in through those doors. You're gonna cut up more people day by day. And I mean, it's a great feeling too when you're like 6 years deep and the dude you were cutting in your garage is still cutting his hair with you, you know?
For real.
And you're still giving him that same feeling.
And no matter where you go, what shop you go, they're following you and stuff. So
yeah, for sure, man. I got some clients when I go to Mexico, they'll be like, bro, this is your second month in Mexico, bro. What is you doing? You know?
You got me abandoned,
yeah,
man.
like,
I need
come
a
on.
blessing.
Yeah, for sure. Like, come on, bro. I mean, Mexico's cool, but, you know, I need my barber. And I mean, it's a great feeling to know that people enjoy their cuts, or they value your time, your cuts, and the time you invest into them, you know. At the same time, they invest in you, you know. They help you grow. But it's a really great feeling. So for the barbers out there that are trying to come up, don't quit. if this is something you want to do it with a passion. Because if you're not gonna be passionate about it, what's your point?
Right, and let me tell you, now it's the right time to do anything, any business, barbering, whatever, because now we have social media that if you know and you use social media the right way, that's a great way to build your brand. So, like, I see all these upcoming barbers and just these famous barbers that are they keep taking advantage of social media to promote and just kind of show their work, and that's the perfect time for you to also do the same. Content is valuable, man. The attention is crazy because video is where it's at, man. 80% of attention comes from the videos. If you go to Facebook and you look at numbers, it's all about videos. So take advantage of that. Create content, show people the process of the come up, the cuts, everything, man. When you own a shop, everything, man. I think it's very important for people to watch your come up.
Yeah, and then going back to social media, like, yo, take advantage of that. Like, social media is free.
For real.
Like, social media, like, what's your excuse to not promote yourself every day? Sometimes I catch myself slacking and I don't promote myself every day. But I mean, if you really want to be out there, promote yourself every day. Promote yourself every 2 hours if you had to. Now, you got to strategize as well. Don't post a picture at 9 a.m. because everybody's working at 9 a.m. Post that picture at 6 p.m. when everybody's getting off of work and they in traffic. Everybody's on their phone in traffic.
Yeah.
I'm not telling people to be on their phone and drive, but, people are going to do it regardless.
Still do it.
So you got to strategize like that, man.
Can you talk on the whole Barbershop Connect story you told me before? How when you were young, you were like, that's what you wanted. Like, damn, I want Barbershop Connect to post my shit. And then it just wouldn't happen. Just talk about that, like how...
Yeah, so...
Give us some insight on that.
Yeah, so Barbershop Connect is a pretty big platform that shares barbers. And the thing is, when they share you, it's like it's a great feeling because...
It's kind of like, let's say, more of a... Let's say somebody famous recognize you, like, shit.
It's one of the biggest barber pages on it.
Okay, so it's like, yeah, so if they recognize you, you're like, oh, shit, I made it.
Yeah, it's a big platform, so it's not just that they say that you made it. It's more like, yo, like, you shared my stuff, and there's people in Cali that I don't even know that are liking my photo. There's people in Russia that are liking my photo. So that goes back to that free marketing and, just free platform to promote yourself. Like, so when they share you, they got millions of followers. Barbershop Connect has millions of followers, and that's a great feeling. But when I was younger, it was always like, oh, this cut, I'm going to make it Barbershop Connect worthy. So I'm like, boom, 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 cutting up people. And I'm posting, hashtagging. So eventually I was like, why am I trying to feed for that energy on Barbershop Connect when I could do that on my own? I could build my own page. Like, I don't have to wait for another page to share my stuff. Like, I could do that on my own. People that genuinely follow you and like your pages, that means they actually like your stuff. Because, I have barbers across the country that like my stuff. Even people back home that I didn't even know were going to be barbers one day, they like my stuff. And I'm like, damn, like, I didn't even know he was a barber. But they're telling my folks from over there, like, yo, cousin's cold. Or people in Mexico, when I go over there, like, hey, like, you trying to cut my hair? And it's just a great feeling. But yeah, man, like, Barbershop Connect was just one of those platforms I was trying so hard for. And it was crazy too, because when that all started, a lot of barbers that were already known would set up challenges. Like, there's a really good what's it called? There's a really good barber right now that when all that first started, he was one of the most well known. Mm-hmm. He did freestyle designs. He started the whole feather movement on people's heads. So one day it was crazy because I commented his name and I was like, boom, 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 like, what you think? And then he commented, he was like, yo, that's dope. So I was like, whoa, like, dude, you got hundreds of thousands of followers.
You look up to him.
And you just comment. And it's not more that I look up to him. It's just, I like
So what was the reason of like, do you like his style of cuts and stuff?
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah.
you wanted his opinion, like maybe like, hey, what you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, for sure. Cause it was something he started. So when I did it, I was like, you really can't, you want to do it and try to match what he does, So
because he started it.
Yeah, because he started it. So you don't want to do something that you're not confident with. So when I posted, I was like, yo, I'm confident he's going to see this. I know he's going to see it. And it was the first time I had ever done the feather. And he noticed it and he commented like, yo, this is dope. I was like, dang. And I was like cutting in my backyard. I'm like, yo, this dude that travels the world showing people how to cut hair. He cuts P. Diddy's hair. He cuts his family's hair. Like, that's crazy. Like, it was a great feeling, man. But definitely for other barbers around there, like, challenge yourself to do those challenges, man. That's good exposure. If you want to do a portrait on somebody's head, do it, man. Ask them, like, hey, can I do it? Like I said, you're not going to be great the first try, but when you eventually get better, people in the industry will respect you and will actually pay for you to show them, you know? And, I mean, shout out to, like, Rob the Original. He's one of those originators, you know, that started bringing portraits into the game. So those little challenges,
that's tough.
Yeah, that's tough, bro. But I mean,
tough, and the end result though is like, damn, like really, you pulled that off with some clippers, and then, wow.
Yeah, you know? And I mean, even that, like, people,
art.
Yeah, people are starting to move from doing like human hair to just like, man, I'm gonna put this on a horse. You're just like, what? Like,
so like even like those, because I've seen a couple where they just don't like draw a face on your head. Like, how crazy is that? Like, how talented people are. Like, these barbers that are able to draw like a Tony Montana or like a Michael Jordan face. Like, how? Like that's just something that's mind blowing to me. Yeah, it's beyond. Like, bro, like, really? How did, like, the Clippers is like, I don't know, like, what edge you have to use, and like, just the whole concept of it is just mind blowing. Like, what do you think of that, man?
Man, that's where innovation comes, man. So like, I'm pretty sure like 10, 15 years ago, people didn't think that was really possible. So when people finally were like, man, I'm gonna do this, at that point you're like a founder of the movement. So when you do it and people are like starting to notice you, they're like, that's crazy. And I mean, when it comes down to the tools, like, you got this tool that's in the shape of a line, so you got to depend on using the edges and the tips and stuff. So it's kind of like using a chisel, you know. So I see people's head like kind of like, it's kind of like if somebody comes to you with long hair, they're like a stone, you know. So at that point you got to carve the vision onto their head, you know. But you could always take off, but you can't put hair back on. So for people to have the confidence to encounter hair and be like, I'm gonna put a portrait on this dude's head,
it's crazy.
That's crazy. I mean, that's dope, and that's a whole nother level of confidence, bro. You know. But once you execute, I bet you the feeling's even greater when people start noticing you. When you have famous people hitting you up like, yo, I want you to cut my hair, like, you dope. Hey man, you know, I live across the states, you know. Hey, no problem, let me fly you out. Like, damn, that's tight.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy. And I like it, man. Every time I see a cut on Facebook or Instagram, or even when I get my own cut, it's like satisfying as hell, man. It's like I'll see a cut and I'm like, I want to go. I want to get myself a cut, and it's satisfying as hell, man. Just when the barber's already just brushing you up, finishing you out, and you just walk out that door, it's like, I'm ready.
Yeah, man. And the thing is, we live in an era where a lot of people are now starting to focus more on themselves, like their health, their physical appearance. And that has a lot to do with social media. So when you give somebody a haircut, like, you never know, maybe they had seen somebody on social media with a fresh cut, so they wanted to go get a fresh cut. Same goes for people working out. Like, they're on social media and they're like, damn, this dude has abs, I want abs. Or this girl has a pretty face, let me start learning how to do makeup, let me start learning how to do my hair. So now we're like I feel like we're in a generation where we really want to be the best of ourselves. But sometimes that could affect you too, because a lot of people, they'll focus on the physical appearance. But I'm like, yo, you could look up to this person as being this beautiful person, but do you know them? Do you know their morals? Do they know the way they move themselves?
Right,
like,
right. And do they bring value to you? Like,
yeah, for sure. Because I mean, like, everybody has something to bring to the table. Like I said, like, I'm not saying you're not the most good-looking person in the world, but I mean, if you can't control the way you look, control the way you could carry yourself, you know?
Right, right.
Like, you could improve on that every day. Like, from the moment you wake up, you got to be like, yo, as soon as I step out of these doors out of my house, I got to have my head straight.
Right.
Because if I don't have my head straight, I'm just going to be slacking the whole day. So you got to tell yourself, like, all right, chill out. You know, in my situation, I'd be
security,
like,
security, come and get this bug.
yeah, man.
Man, he's bugging. His goddamn fly is bugging.
This bug about to make me put my hoodie on, man.
For real, he's bugging. But yeah, go ahead, man. This bug is just bugging, really.
Yeah, man. So like, from the moment I step out of my door, I gotta tell myself like, all right, thank God, you know, it's another day. If I'm blessed with another day, somebody else's day just ended. So at that moment, I gotta tell myself like, approach everything with a good attitude, be positive about it.
And I definitely know where you're coming from. Sometimes we take shit for granted, and like we don't appreciate that we have 2 arms, 2 legs, and we can walk, breathe, we're healthy, and we have a roof in our head. So sometimes we just like to look at the people that has more than us and just kind of be like, fuck, like my life is ass. And it came like, it doesn't have to be that way. You just have to appreciate what you have right now and just find the fulfillment and stuff that you're passionate about, because that's what's really going to drive you to happiness, pretty much.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, we're blessed with choice, like the power of choice, the power of will. So we can make our own decisions. So if you decide to step out of them doors with a bad attitude, like what's the whole point of doing that? Like, you're not gaining anything out of it, and you're losing, you know?
Right.
But on top of that, like, you're blessed with feet, you're blessed with hands, you're blessed with vision, hearing. And even if you're not blessed with those things, one of the blessings we take for granted is the power of unity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we could sit here and connect and be able to catch something that we could teach each other. I could conversate with anybody, and that's unity. So you could learn, because I mean, we're humans, bro. We're not built to be alone.
Right.
Like, we really aren't. Like, you gotta step out there and communicate with people. So I mean, even like with friendships, like, you gotta be thankful for that. Like, tell your homie, like, even if your homies think it's corny, you gotta tell your homies like, hey, bro, I appreciate you, man. I'm thankful for you.
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah,
behind
for
the
sure,
camera,
man.
I appreciate you. I fight a lot with you, but I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Oh man, me and AV,
got to, man. You got to.
Me and AV be bumping heads, but man, I wouldn't trade that dude for the world. You know, it's because at the same time, I've told him before too, like, yo, like, because we always work with this guy named Dan the barber, and I tell him like, man, like, both of y'all together, y'all have kind of like the same attitude my big brother has. So even though my brother's miles apart, I feel like I got my big brother next to me, you know. So I'll be having to argue with these dudes too, but at the same time, you know, we do communicate. When it's time to get serious, we get serious. We talk about things, real topics, and it's a great feeling to be able to have your homie come up to you and be like, hey, bro, like, I'm having this bad day, bro. And I'm like, all right, bet. Like,
and you got to just...
Yeah, no more joking around. Like, like, what's up, bro? Like, what's on your mind? That's all that unity, because, I mean, if you don't speak, bro, like, you're not going to help
You're not going to
yourself.
know what the hell's going on.
Yeah,
you know,
and I mean, I can't read your mind. Like, I could try to read your behavior, but I mean, I can't read your mind, bro. So at the end of the day, like speak to me, you know, talk to me. Like, that's that unity. That's where people can communicate. I mean, if unity wasn't one of those blessings, why did they create sign language? You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Why did they create that? They created that because even though they can't speak or they can't hear, they gotta find a way to communicate with each other.
Connect
I mean,
with other people.
Bro, Braille. Like, bro, you telling me you could read Braille? Like, that's tight, you know? Like, I mean, it sucks that, well, it's sad that the situation's like that where you can't see, but I mean, for you to be able to put your hands on some Braille
and know what the hell it says
and read the same book as me, that's tight. You know, that's that communication, that's that unity. Yeah, and that's a blessing, man.
I feel you on that one.
For sure. So,
unity is important. Connection is important. But let's go ahead and jump on the other thing you do. You mentioned you're a photographer, and I definitely got you on the Instagram, and I like what you do, man. So tell me a little bit more about what you do on the gram.
So photography's always been something I've been wanting to do since I was a kid, man, because, I mean, I've always liked the wilderness and stuff. So when I would see like the National Geographic, I'm like, yo, I want to be the dude filming the lion, you know, or I want to be the dude filming the giraffe. And then I started falling in love with humans, you know. I started to be like, dang, we all have something spontaneous about us. So I'm like, man, that's tight. And then I was like, wait, if I'm cutting hair and I make people feel confident, what if I could take pictures and make people feel confident? So I started doing that, and I started doing like portrait photography with a lot of local girls that, you know, they're my friends and stuff. They're really good. They're really good people. So I started to, you know, hit people up like, hey, you down to do this shoot? And I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't think I was gonna be a really good photographer, but I mean, I just started going out of my comfort zone, you know, started learning stuff through YouTube, messing with my camera. And I mean, even AV, like, AV put me in a lot of situations where I wasn't comfortable, but I mean, I knew I was gonna learn. So if we were shooting a music video, AV was like, direct it. And I'm like, what you mean? Like, get control, bro. So I'm like, yo, I'm this Mexican that looks like a little white boy, and we're having to direct a video where it's a bunch of hood dudes, and me to tell them, hey man, stand this way, like, and they just look at me like, yeah, they look at me and they just want to, you could tell they're like, yo, who is this dude, you know? And I'd be having to tell them. There was even a situation where there was a bunch of hood dudes and none of them wanted to listen to me. There was only one dude that wanted to listen to me, and his pictures came out dope. So later on, I saw him posting those pictures, and the other dudes weren't posting the pictures, and I'm pretty sure they were like, well, why were his pictures better? I'm like, because he listened, you know, like,
right.
You know, I'm trying to make y'all look good on the screen and stuff. So
right.
Later on, I started taking control, and I mean, being able to see AV capture a lot of that in videos, it was great. And then for me to do the photography part, to capture that image, it's dope, because that's a moment that you're not going to get back.
Right.
And I mean, when I take photos with the girls, you know, when I do the portrait photography, I do that based off of creativity. Like, I see the vision in my head and I want to execute that vision. And I mean, every day, like, if I did a shoot, I was like, okay, I need to improve on something on this one and correct myself from a shoot I did yesterday. So I'm like, all right, I got to edit this image a little bit better. Or how do I make the skin look
kinda
softer?
Find
yeah,
weaknesses and kind of improve from there.
Yeah, for sure, man. Because I mean, like I said, there's always room for improvement. Like, if you don't like the way your photos are coming out, like, improve.
Right.
Yeah, but if you like your style, stick to that style. If you genuinely like the way you take photos and the way you set the settings and stuff, stick to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody tells you like, I don't really like the way you take pictures, like, okay.
Yeah,
like,
you're not gonna please everybody. It's like it's just with anything, you're not gonna please everybody. Okay, you don't like it, but other people do, based on the likes I get.
Too, man. A lot of the people he photographs, they're not even models. So
yeah,
it's kind of girls that he just feels like, you know, they have something, and then. So that's cool. I mean,
yeah,
that's fucking dope.
For
So
sure.
yeah, just what AV was saying. In case you guys, I don't know if the mic is gonna get it or not, but you know, most of the models not even models, they're just normal people, and then you just kind of like turn them into a model, honestly, because those pictures are clean. Yeah,
because I mean, I hit up a lot of girls that some do have a little bit of photo experience, but some don't. I just find something in them that I'm like, yo, that's a good character, you know. So a lot of the girls I ask, like, hey, you down to do a shoot? They're like, I'm shy. I'm like, look, everybody I've shot so far says they're shy. By the time we're done shooting, they're like, yo, this was tight.
It's a good experience.
Yeah, this was a good experience. We should do it again. And a lot of the girls, they're not confident with themselves, but some are. But just the fact that they say, yeah, like, I'm down, I'm like, yo, that's tight. Like, that's tight. Like, you're willing to do something you're not used to. And I mean, there's some girls that I could hit up and be like, hey, I'm trying to do this shoot, and they're down because they're confident in me as well. They could sense that, all right, he has something cooking up, you know.
Right.
Like, let's join.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, a lot of those girls, they're just girls that I know, and that's one thing too. Like, I'm trying to make the girls feel beautiful too. Like, I want you to feel like you run the world, you know. Like, if you get 300 likes, that's tight. That means 300 people liked my work. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's tight. It's always good.
And at the end of the day, man, like, fuck the likes, honestly. As long as you feel good, you like both of y'all like the end product, y'all good, because it's just numbers, man. And that's something that social media has been fucking people up. Cause
it manipulates,
Yeah. And we'll get to that in a minute. But as far as the photography and the pictures you're taking, and then what is like your end goal with that as far as it?
I mean,
I feel like you can bring more content to it, man. Like, I feel like you can even do, some behind the scenes, teach, bro. Cause like, people like want to consume, they want to find value in the person they're consuming. So I feel like you can bring value to them, and like upcoming photographers, or like even, the models that you're just kind of boosting them and giving them tips. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
Pose
sure.
better and stuff like that, because the pictures are clean, man. The pictures come out clean.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I
you
mean,
do a pretty good job.
yeah, I mean, even that, like, I haven't been a photographer for that long. It was just overcoming that fear. Like, yo, I'm gonna grab this camera. Like, I'm gonna do it. And even like the first 2 girls that I did a shoot with, like, they weren't experienced, but my buddy was doing a shoot with them, and my buddy hit me up and was like, bro, it's 2 girls, like, and it's 1 camera. Like, come help me out. I was like, all right, you know, this was probably happening for a reason. So there I was, you know, just doing the shoot. And like I said, it was just something that I didn't think I was going to be good at. So when people started complimenting me, I was like, yo, I started believing that I was actually good. And I mean, at the same time, I messed up because the validation of others helped me improve myself. But at the same time, I was like, all right, if I don't get this much likes on this photo, that's cool. But it was something that I wanted to do. And even then, I don't have the most followers in the world. I probably have like 860 something followers. But it's crazy because I'll get like 180 likes. So I'm like, yo, that's like 1/4 of my followers liking my.
That's a good ratio. If we compare it, you know, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, even people. Damn, we got a train passing by. So I don't know if the mic is gonna get it, but anyways, a lot of people look up to Kylie Jenner and all these famous people that have almost 100 million followers, but their like ratio is trash. They don't look at it that way. They just see, oh, 1 million likes, she gets 2 million likes, or even at the most 7 million. But you're comparing 7 million likes to 100 million followers that you have. That like ratio is it's trash.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like that's why I'm a numbers guy, man. I'm just like looking at numbers and kind of comparing, and it's like, I don't let the numbers affect me, but I look at them as far as like these people that a lot of people look up to because of the numbers, and it's like, really,
yeah,
it's not much, you know.
Yeah, it's not much, but even then, like, I'd rather have 20 followers and all 20 of them like my photos,
right?
To be honest, like, because at the same time they like genuinely like your stuff, you know, like they're around because they like your pictures. Now, I mean, if I have 30,000 followers and I only get like 100 likes, like, bro,
to me. I'm more into the comments, man. I think if let's say I have 30,000 followers and I get 500 comments out of that, I'm happy, because that's engagement right there.
Yeah,
like, that's
sure.
where I'm looking at when it comes to numbers. I'm looking at comments. When I post a YouTube video, like, I don't give a hell about the views and stuff. I'm like, are they commenting? Oh, is somebody commenting? What are they commenting? And just like kind of looking, I'm finding a way to kind of engage with them, you know.
Yeah, for sure. So like, even when I take photos and stuff, and I have girls like compliment on the other girls' photos, like, yo, you're pretty, that makes me feel good, because I'm like, yo, like, some people don't have that hate in their heart, and they'll actually take the time out of the day to say that somebody's pretty or somebody's beautiful.
Right.
Because you never know, man. Like, that person could be feeling down or insecure about themselves. So if you compliment them, that's tight. And even as a photographer, like, I have other photographers around the city that compliment my stuff, and it's just like, whoa, that's tight. Like, AV was one of the people that from the jump, he was supporting me. Because, I mean, I asked a lot of photographers in the city, like, for tips, and they would just tell me, like, just watch YouTube. And I'm like, come on, bro.
And that's the thing, man. Unity and like, just connection, and like, I don't see it here, especially. Like, it's really hard. Like, people just are so worried about their own business, and they always think the first thing that comes in mind is like, oh, he's gonna probably take my business. So if I give you tips on you want to be a photographer, and I'm already the pro photographer, you're gonna take my business, so I'm not gonna give you as much information. And to me, it's like the opposite, man. To me, it's like, maybe there's gonna be a day where I can't shoot a client, and I want the second person I know that's gonna do a good job with it, and like, hey, David, go and do this shoot for me, man, because I know you're gonna do a great job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just think
at that point it creates a market. My bad for interrupting.
No, you're good. You're good.
When it's fucking 30 people shooting and doing videos, you got action. If it's just 3 people in the city that do it, then it's like, the fuck,
right.
You know?
And
like,
then it's that's why, you know what I'm saying, I think it's important to market and network, and just know as much people as you can, and just create that connection, because it's like you say, bro, like, some people they just want to be, they don't want to be bothered. They just want to think they're the best and not give.
Yeah.
I like giving information. I like helping other people out. So somebody reached out to me, hey, what do you record? What do you use? How does it look this cinematic? Or whatever it is, I'm like, all right, let's talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely. Because I mean, even then, like when I first started photography, and I really wanted to focus on portrait photography. So it's kind of hard getting exposure like that, because you know you got to learn how to do the posing, the setting, and a lot of stuff. And I had a lot of questions for people, and a lot of people were just like being like real bold about it. They'd be like, just YouTube it, bro, or I mean, I learned on my own. And I'm like, that's cool, bro, but I mean, if you already know, what's your excuse for not helping me out? Like, you're making me go through the hard part just because you want to be selfish with your knowledge. And even then, bro, like, I started to depend a lot on my networking. So I went to a meet and greet, and probably one of the first photographers that was really, really like dope. His name's Joel. He goes by Halo Link. He's a real creative dude, bro. One of the most creative dudes out here. But this dude, I barely even knew him. And one day he was like, "Hey, bro, I'm gonna go do this shoot at the Capitol and at a church. You want to come with me?" I was like, sure. You know, like I really don't know you like that, but cool. And I showed up, and then he was like, "Yeah, bro, take pictures of the girl. Tell her how you want her to pose and stuff." And he started getting my confidence, and then I see how he'd work, and then his work ethic, and I started doing the same thing. And at the end of the day, it's not like he was telling me like, "Hey, next time I do another shoot, I'm gonna let you know." I'm like, "All right." He did a wedding. He hit me up. I was like, "Damn, that's tight," you know. And even then, there's another photographer. He's probably one of the best that I like around the city. His name's Wolfman. He was working at the mall, and I seen him at the mall, and I went up to him, and then I was like, "Hey, man, I like your art." I didn't say I like your photography, because photography I feel is like a real bold. It's not a really good category, because at the same time we're creating. So I told him, like, I like your art, like you're dope. He was like, "Oh man, like you like my stuff." I'm like, "Bro, your stuff is tight." And he was really good, bro. He has a bunch of followers, and I asked him, like, "How do you execute posing?" He was like, "Play music." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Play music
while you're doing the photo shoot."
While you're doing the photos. He's like, "Ask the girl what she likes, and then play that music, and you'll see them move,
get more loose."
Yeah, get loose. And I was like, "Dang, that's dope." And then his ratio of followers is crazy. He follows like 800 people, and he has like 15,000 followers. And then he started following me. He was like, "What's your name?" I told him. I was like, "He's not gonna follow me." He started following me. He started commenting on my photos like, "Yo, this is fire." I was like, "Dang,
that's a big,
that was like, that's
compliment right there."
Even AV, man, AV's like a OG in the game. You know, he's been doing this since he was a kid, bro. So to be able to see somebody that's developed themselves throughout the years, to compliment somebody that's only been in the game for like a year or so.
I definitely, I would say AV put me in the game, and I got to get that motherfucker back in here to see if he doesn't interrupt me that much, and see if we can have a better conversation. It was a good one, trust me, it was a good one. But there's a lot to talk about, because like I one of the things that Aaron is good at is controlling the crowd, controlling the situation, telling people, and also the unity. Speaking of, you know, people rejecting you, like there's a barbershop right, like we're filming this right here at the shop, at Aaron's shop, and then there's a barbershop like
across the street,
and y'all cool with each other. They come here, hang out, y'all go over there and hang out, and it's like that's what it's all about, man. Because like I seen places where they're like just throwing dirt, like, "Nah, don't go over there, they're gonna fucking fuck your shit up." If anything, y'all be like, "Yeah, over there they're cold too," you know what I'm saying? Like the unity of it is just the thing of beauty, and that's where I think at least in this industry, in the filmmaking and in the photography, a lot of people are just like, "Nah."
The people are just retarded, because you need a fucking team at the end of the day.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
Like, if you want to take it to the next level, right now it's 1, 2, 3, 4 of us, so, you know?
Right.
Yeah, even then, too, like, man, bro, like, you really gonna hate on me, bro? Like, we live in a city where there's, like, so many, like, there's thousands of people, and there's, like, a couple hundred barbers. Like, bro, you could build your clientele. You don't have to dog on me for my work. Like, bro, like, do it on your own. You don't gotta be like little bro and anybody talking about, "Man, yeah, they be messing people up, they be doing this." Like, nah.
There's plenty of heads out here, man. Come on, like,
yeah, for sure. Like, be humble with it, bro. Like we all struggle in something, bro. Man, barbers that be talking about they good at everything, I call bullshit, you know? Like, you could be confident in a lot of things, but you can't, bro. Like me, when I first started, bro, I was scared of bald fades. Like, I was scared of bald fades. So when I started doing bald fades, I was like, yo, my bald fades are coming out clean. I'm starting to look at my tapers, and I'm like, my tapers are kind of trash. So I started doing my tapers. Tapers were popping. Everybody was doing tapers, you know. So that was something that I wanted to start focusing on. And I mean, it's the same thing I tell the guys. Like, I threw AV a client that had a burst fade. I was like, I'm gonna throw it to AV. I was like, I'm gonna throw AV in the jungle. And I was like, hey man, when I was out of town, I was like, hit up AV, he's cold. And then boom, he went to AV, and AV was like, so a challenge. I was like, yeah, bro, like, do it. I believe in you. Like, do it. I mean,
got him right.
Yeah, bro, invest your time too into the cuts, you know?
Yeah, I feel you on that one. I definitely do feel you on that one. And yeah, bro, I think it's just everybody's gonna have their own weaknesses and shit, but some people just don't want to call it out and shit. But like me, I was afraid of filming in night situations because like just the grain. Every time I would look at the night situation, I'm like, fuck, this ain't it, man. Like, it's gonna be shit, and you just gotta find ways to overcome and maybe bring some lights with you or something. Just kind of overcome it and just not be like, nah, I'm not gonna shoot at night because I'm fucking afraid of the grain and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Man. So, like, man, that don't matter, bro. Like, you're not about to die because your photo didn't come out great. Right. You're not about to die because you didn't deliver the best cut. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's serious, but don't. It's
not the end of the world.
Yeah, man, don't. Because, man, self-love is the best love, bro. So if you ain't gonna love yourself and love the fact that you're dedicated to something, because you know when you're mediocre, bro. You know when you half-ass something. Like, you know when you give your all. So it's all about time, too, and patience. Because if you do it, man, if I compare a photo that I did in 15 minutes, that I edited in 15 minutes compared to a photo I did in 30 minutes, an hour, bro, it's dramatic. Like, yo, like, you just start to see little details, because with details comes time, bro. Details not something that you can knock out the way quick. No, that's something you got to focus on. Man, don't tell yourself like, damn, I really been on this photo for an hour, like, and it's still not good. Bro, destroy the image. Destroy the image as much as you can. When I say destroy it, don't delete it, but mess with the hues, mess with the saturation, the vibrance, the contrast, the curvatures, all that. Mess with everything. It might not be the best picture, but you just learned like 20 things that you didn't even know were on Photoshop or Lightroom. Right. Like, if there's a word on there that you don't really know, click it, bro. Find out what it does. Toggle with the settings a little bit. Mess with layers, man. If it destroys your image completely, just click it. What do you use more, Photoshop or Lightroom? Man, because I know they have their, differences and shit. So yeah, man. Kudos to anybody that just focuses on Lightroom. Lightroom is so simple but so hard for me because it's limited. For me, it's limited. So I usually process some images through Lightroom, and then I'll transfer them to Photoshop and hit a little bit more detail. So Lightroom is like I said, it's real basic, but you could do a lot on there. But then on Photoshop, you could control a lot of things, and I think Photoshop is the more creative side where you can just do a lot of shit. Yeah, like there's people that could do crazy things. There's this photographer on Instagram named Calip. Oh yeah, I follow him. Yeah, bro, Calip is crazy, bro. He's cold. Like, that's crazy. Another guy is Jordy. Yeah, he be doing like the insane like that, and that's the thing. Like, when I like those two photographers, the art that they create is like another level. That's like kind of comparing the barber thing with the landscapes and stuff. That is like taking it to the next level because they have the behind the scenes. They'll have the actual picture, the lighting that they use, and then like the behind the scenes of how they took that picture. And it's like, wow, this is taking photography to the next level. And I bet even if you ask them like how do you do this, bro, they'll tell you it's confidence, bro. They'll tell you it's confidence, the way they approach that. Bro, they're doing things that you could tell there's no instructions on. That's something they had to learn on their own. So they went out of their own comfort zone. And I mean, it's crazy, bro, because those are like people that just do their thing. They're not worried about what other people think of their work. They'll just do it because that's something they want to execute. So they're patient about it. They're creative about it. And that's dope, bro, because you see something like that, and bro, let's say Calip uploads a photo, he'll get 100,000 likes. That means there's 100,000 people that like his style. Now, what if 80,000 people want to do that now? You know what I'm saying? You just marketed yourself and you didn't even know it, because now that's 80,000 people that are willing to pay, probably willing to pay a little bit to learn, like, yo, how'd you do that?
Right.
You know?
So that's very impressive. It's taking photography to the next level, and it takes a lot. It takes a lot of time, a lot of tries, and like even a team, because the other photographer, Jordy, has like, you know, where he has somebody taking the behind the scenes at all time, and he just maps everything out. This is the plain picture. This is it with the effects and color graded, and it's crazy. So just to be able to, like you said, like you have 100,000 people like it and take it to the next level. Maybe they want to learn something. So like even courses, they can build a course where they can just digital marketing, you know, so they can build something even bigger than what they already have.
Yeah.
And I'm big with that, man. I'm big with just bringing value. So to me, in the future, I would like to build some courses of maybe how to get a podcast started. This is simple, man. This is really simple. And I'm not going to obviously go for the money, but it's more of what I can bring for value. It's, like I said, it's something simple. It takes effort and just the drive to do it, because you got to go in post-production and edit everything. But as long as you love it, it won't be work. It's something that you just enjoy doing.
For sure. I mean, even like with photographers, man, like I'm pretty sure you know who Brandon Wolfel is.
Yeah.
Like you see, even like photographers like that, I'm pretty sure a couple years ago or like 10 years ago, if it wasn't for social media, they wouldn't have that much exposure. So now that they have that much exposure, let's say they use a Sony camera every time they do a shoot, Sony's going to notice something like that, and Sony's going to hit you up like, yo, we got this product that we want to deliver, but we need somebody to test it. We're going to send it to you. And you're just like, what? Same thing, bro. Like,
it's crazy, man. It's crazy, man.
The richer I get, the more free shit I get. It doesn't make no sense.
It is, bro, and it's crazy. That's what I'm saying. It comes back to living in an era where it's the perfect time to live in, because if you're a tech review guy, you're going to get sent iPhones, you're going to get sent Galaxies, MacBooks, all that new tech, because you have an impact in that genre. It is crazy.
Yeah, on top of that, like social media it's amazing, but at the same time you got to have your guard up, because if you want exposure, what exposure means, you're going to get a lot of hate. So you better be tough too, because you're going to get more criticism and more hate than you've ever expected. Like I said, if you have 100 likes, that's not a lot of hate. But if you got 100,000 likes, you're going to get some hate. But if you're doing things because you want to do them, that's good, because you're doing what you want to do. Now, if you're worried about the validation of others,
right,
and you're worried about disappointing people, you're going to be miserable, because you're trying to live a life that somebody else wants you to live, and you're thinking about carrying yourself the way you want somebody to carry. Like,
and it's funny because you'll have 100 positive comments, and you have probably 1 or 2 negative, and the 1 and 2 negative comments are the one that's going to get you, the one that's going to fuck up your day, and you're going to be like, oh, you're going to go out your way to comment back and, like, you know, say dumb shit, when you could have just be like, man, let me look at the positive. Let me just ignore it, because that's going to hurt more than just, you know, giving them what they want. So, like, you just got to see it that way. But to me, at the end of the day, it's like I don't care about the hate. The hate's going to come. People are going to talk. At the end of the day, it's just like looking at the situation and being like, fuck, this is a blessed time to be alive, because they'll fly you out. Oh, this new camera's coming out, the Sony or Canon. I don't want Canon to feel like we're not sponsoring them, but anyways.
Yeah.
The Canon, the new Canon EOS R is coming out. We're going to fly you out to our event to show you the camera and get your thoughts on it. And then when the product comes out, we're going to send it to you a week before. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. All these photographers be traveling to these events and stuff, because they're reaching out. They notice talent. They notice, you know, the control that they have in that genre. And it's just, to me, it's amazing.
And one thing I want to stress out too to the people is, like, anybody that's going to watch this, you know, self-love is important when you're in any industry. Self-love is very important. You got to learn how to love yourself. You got to learn to embrace that you mess up. On top of that, because if you listen to negativity and you comment, you give negativity feedback, you value their opinions more than you value your work. You're more worried about their hate. You're more worried about trying to satisfy them. So learn how to love yourself, because, I mean, at the end of the day, you could be in a boxing ring and you could be fighting, but the people that are telling you, hey, left hook, bro, I can't throw a left hook, bro. You know, people could be outside the ring telling you what to do, or they could swear that they know what to do. But bro, at the end of the day, you're in there, and it's all about fight or flight. So you could stay in there and duke it out, and hey, you know, I'm gonna stay in here and I'm gonna try to win. Or you could be worried about what other people are telling you. And if you listen to somebody and they're telling you to throw a left hook, bro, you not fighting this dude, bro. You not fighting this dude. If I throw that left hook, he's gonna
That's right.
he's gonna beat my ass.
Right.
Cause
yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Cause I mean, bro, you're in there and you're fighting by yourself, bro. Like the people around you, if they're not supporting you, if they're not trying to better you, then bro, I don't know what to tell you, bro. You need to reevaluate your circle. You need to sit down and think about if you're really gaining something. I'm not telling you to use your friends, but at least be around people that support you. So that goes back to like the photography or barbering. Like, yo, if you worried about what other people are going to tell you, like, you're going to have to work on your self-love, because you can't satisfy the world.
Yeah, I think and it comes, the self-love is, a lot has to do, and this is the negativity part of, like, the negative side of it is the social media, man. Social media is, I think it's more dark than positive, just because of, it's just more negative, man. I feel like if people stay away from social media, and you're not going to market yourself, or you're not going to find any benefit but just to get you down, because you go in, for example, on Instagram and you see all these people living the perfect life, you're going to be like looking like, wait, my life ain't like that, man. It's like, and I got this video recommended on YouTube, and it was like these travel vloggers. And these travel vloggers do the exact same thing. They paint the perfect picture. Not all of them are like that, but they paint this perfect picture that they're traveling, they're having this lavish life. And what you really do is you just question yourself, like, damn, how the fuck this guy is doing? And I've been in that position, like, how the fuck this guy is doing all these travels and all this good stuff? And I'm like, damn, what am I doing wrong?
They don't show when they crash the fucking drone.
Right, they don't show when they crash the drone. They don't show when their fucking taxi is all raggedy and like they're riding in the motorcycle and they're just falling and doing. They don't show the struggle of the travel, because not all the time travel is gonna be the fairy tale we all think we see in these videos. So like, we see that, and this goes with anything, but we see that with the models too, with the Instagram models, that they make these the females look insecure because you have this fucking lipo, this fucking fake ass, and then the big boobs, and it's like the females look up to it. Like, if you have a daughter, bro, and she's 13, 14, and like just learning the, you know, social media life, and she goes in and see these Instagram models, what you think they're gonna?
Yeah, like in my opinion with social media and stuff, like if a girl does her ass, or my bad for the language, but she does her butt or she does her breast. Now, if that's something you want, do it. But if that's something that you're doing because you see that person getting attention and you want that same attention, don't do it.
But here's the thing, man. If you grow up looking at that and knowing, like, and seeing all the praise and, oh yeah, you're beautiful, you're gonna think that's the thing. Like, you're gonna think, because you grow up watching that, like, oh, you know, like, if you go to give you an example, if you go to Target and you buy a fucking Barbie, the Barbie has a perfect body. You don't have a fucking plus size Barbie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like, you have they have the sexy clothes on, they have the perfect fucking body, and it's like, right. It's like with and the plus size females need love too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With all due respect, they look beautiful and shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, they need love too, man.
Yeah, for sure. Even then, that's what I was gonna say too. Like if you're doing your breast and that's because you want to do it, like, cool, do it. And if you want to do your butt, cool, do it. But this is one thing too. Once you start focusing more about what you want on your physical appearance, you start to forget about what you need to build inside. Like, you don't have to be a physically attractive person to be beautiful. Like, that's a fact. I know I'm not the most handsome dude in the world, but I'm gonna control what I can control. Like, if I could start being a person that people actually look up to, or people want to talk to about their situations, like, that makes me feel good. I feel like at that point I'm a beautiful person because I could help others. Now, you could be a beautiful ass person and be a fucking negative ass person.
And that's how they are, man. That's how they are.
And on top of that, with that whole social media thing, like, social media bleeds into a lot of things. And the reason I say that is a lot of girls will follow these couples and they'll be like, oh, this couple is beautiful. Like, this is the couple I want. If my man isn't like this, like, yo, you not about a, this ain't build a dude. Like, this ain't build a boyfriend. Nah, homegirl, like, if you ain't growing with this dude, you ain't gonna get the perfect dude. That just ain't gonna, it's impossible, bro. Like, you're gonna find flaws in whatever person you're with. But this is one thing that I always tell people, like, if you're gonna get with somebody, you gotta accept the fact that if somebody can make that girl happier, bro, don't hold on to her, bro. Like, if somebody can make her happier, let her make her own decision. But once she dips and it's not what she wanted, she realizes it's not what it is, don't let her come back, bro. But that all goes back because when you're on social media, you'll see Travis Scott and Kylie Jenner. Yeah, you'll see couples like that, and you're like, oh my gosh, they're worth millions. They got this beautiful
goals
baby.
and this.
And if that's how they are, that's tight. Like, I'm not trying to talk down on them.
No,
yeah.
I don't know if you know, but I'm pretty sure you do.
Yeah. I mean, about
Travis Scott had a side chick.
Yeah.
This whole time.
Yeah, and I mean that's what I be telling people. Like, these couples ain't what you think, bro. Behind closed doors, when them photo shoots ain't going down, they arguing, bro. I don't care. I just got done being at a wedding, and I could say they were one of the strongest couples I've ever met. And it wasn't because it was full of laughters and stuff. They were talking to me about hard times they had, because I was telling them that I was starting to try to get ready to settle down, and they were telling me, like, look, David, like, we used to argue all the time. Like, we used to not say we love each other. He's like, we used to have kids. We had kids, and we still didn't really show affection towards each other. But now we love each other. Now we wake up and we tell each other we love each other. There's days where I have a bad mood, and he knows that I have a bad mood, but he'll stick there. He won't go out the door like, fuck that, she's mad, I ain't gonna stick for, nah. He'll stick around. But when he's having a bad day, he's gonna get that in return. I'm gonna stick around too. Now I'm gonna try not to bug him, but I'm gonna be there. Cause I mean, sometimes silent. You don't have to talk to somebody to be there for them. You could just be there. You could just show them that you're actually there. So seeing stuff like that, that's what makes me say that's a beautiful couple. Not on social media, like, oh my gosh, we're in Italy, like,
right,
we got money, like, we're successful. Like, yo, you're successful, but you're miserable,
right? Because
you're trying to feed for the attention of others. You're not trying to feed for your happiness. That's one thing too. Like, some moments aren't meant to be captured on camera. Like, some moments you don't have to be like, hey, can you take a picture of me and my husband? Nah, just sit there and enjoy that view, and be like, yo, this is something we gotta hold on to as a team. This is something me and you experience. People don't need to know about this.
Right.
Same thing with problems. If you're gonna go talk bad about your girl, like, man, this girl got me fucked up, this girl this, like, bro, if you know you're gonna return to her, don't do it, bro, because you're gonna look 10 times stupider. On top of that, like, bro, if she's not talking bad about you, don't talk about her. And even if she's talking bad about you, don't talk bad about her. Be the bigger person, bro. Be more mature about it. Like, you don't have y'all's business doesn't have to be out there. Now, if she talks about you and you ain't talking nothing back, like, you think people are gonna think she's credible? You know what I'm saying? Nah, bro. And then, I mean, that all goes back to social media, bro. You could be real poisoned by it. Like me, I think a couple that you could see that they're genuine about each other. They love each other. When they're out in public, they hug each other. They tell each other they love each other. They're not embarrassed to be embarrassed with their girl in public or with their man. That's tight. But if you're trying to look like this picture perfect couple, it ain't happening.
Yeah. The only advice I can give is just to stay away from it. Just do more productive shit. Cause like sometimes we wake up and we look at our phones. We go to sleep, and before we go to sleep, we're hours looking in our phone. Just do something more productive, man. Cause like you can just while you're wasting your time kind of admiring other people's life and kind of questioning yourself, like, why don't I have this life? You can just be doing something better. Learning is a powerful tool. The more knowledge you have, the better you're going to become, the better person, the better businessman. So at least I don't read, but I do like listen to a lot of podcasts and ebooks. That's going to help out a lot, just learning. The more you learn, the better you're going to become, the more successful you're going to become. But before we wrap this up, man, we've been here for an hour and a bit. You got anything else to say about anything?
Man, all I can say is that just work on self-love. Like, we're in a generation right now where we're just so focused on anything around us. Control what you can control. And if you're scared of disappointing somebody, just settle down, reevaluate yourself. If you disappoint people, but you were doing something you wanted to do, be thankful that you did what you did, being happy, instead of making them happy and being miserable. That's one thing I could say. I've been slowly learning that because I've had people come to me. That's one beautiful thing about being a barber. Bunch of situations come to the table where people ask me, like, what should I do with this situation? To be honest, just feel for yourself. And one thing is, be a listener, man. A lot of people would just talk. They don't want to listen. Listen, man. If somebody's troubled, listen to them. Don't try to talk over them. You let them talk. And when it comes back to the validation, don't live for the validation of people. If you live for the validation of people, you're going to be miserable.
That's right.
More people are going to look up to you if you're yourself than if you're trying to be somebody else. Because people could read bullshit. Let's just say that right now. People know when you're corny, or people know when you're just trying to fake this image. Be you. And if you feel something, feel it to the maximum. Like, don't hold yourself from feeling. You know, if you're saddened, bro, be sad. But at the same time, you gotta learn. You learn that you're sad. You learn, all right, this is how I'm gonna work with myself. But don't let that bleed into your everyday life. Grow from it. Once you grow from it, you learn self-control. And once you learn self-control, you're unstoppable. That's all I could say. Because on top of that, you know, like I said, unity is a great thing. If you need help, reach out to people. It's always
There's
a good
people
thing.
that are willing to help, man.
Yeah, and on top of that, for the generation now, a lot of people don't read books, man. Read a book.
Or listen to it. If you're not a person that reads it, listen to it, man. We got the option of ebooks.
Yeah, on top of that, man, because back then, not back then, even when you just read a book, you open your mind to a lot of things. Like, I read a lot of Ernest Hemingway, and Ernest Hemingway's a real detailed guy, but he was a troubled guy. Like, he had his own battles. And shout out to Kim. She put me on to Ernest Hemingway. But just reading will open up your mind to a lot of things. Poetry's helped me a lot to understand the way your couple could feel. Because back then I was an asshole. I could tell. I'm still an asshole at times, but you read something and you could be like, damn, like, somebody felt this. Like, did I make somebody feel like that? Mm-hmm. Like, am I morally right? You know, like, you'll start to think a lot, and you're like, damn, like, that's what I felt. Like, I'm not the only one. You know, crazy. So just overcome your challenges, better yourself day by day, control what you can control. The past is the past. You can't do nothing about the past. You could just grow from it. You focus on what you could do today to better yourself tomorrow. And I mean, even this, you know, podcast was like something I've been wanting to do. And, you know, finally I got the opportunity to do it. And it's like it's truly a blessing, because it's not something I'm comfortable of, but I'm grateful for it, because I felt like a lot of the wisdom I had, I was just sharing with my clients or my friends, and now I could reach platforms where other people could hear me. Because, you know, whoever's watching this, if this is something you needed to hear, I hope it did fill your ears and it filled your heart on answers that you needed, or just reality checks. Because, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I've been needing that reality check. And when I get those reality checks, I'm grateful, you know. So just be genuine with yourself. Don't be miserable. Just try to work on yourself. Don't live for nobody else. And that's all I could say, man. I appreciate you for having me out here.
Man, appreciate you coming out here, man. Good. I gotta say, this was a successful podcast. Big shout out to my guy David. Shout out to the cameramans, Santiago, and then my boy AV. And just expect more podcasts, man. I think value is more important than anything. So that's really my main focus here. So we're gonna wrap this up, man. Feedback is very important, so comment what you guys think down below. We're going to be on all platforms. You name it. So we out here, man. Half Court Podcast. We are out.
Let me say a little bit something, too.
Yeah, go ahead.
And on top of that, if you guys enjoy this podcast and you guys like the way we communicate with each other, if there's any questions that you guys have and you guys want us to touch those subjects or those topics, let us know, man, because like I said, I can't read y'all's mind. We can't read y'all's mind.
Right.
And there's some topics that, you know, probably we can't think of at the moment. And to be honest, this was completely unplanned, but
we
winged it, but it was good.
A lot of good information.
Yeah, a lot of good information. Yeah. So, I mean, if there's topics you guys want to touch, you know, just views, like, let us know. It'd be cool to do a part 2, you know.
Oh yeah, it's definitely coming, man.
Yeah, man, definitely. So I appreciate you guys for listening once again. Thank you so much for Darwin, and I appreciate the production team. Probably got one of the finest teams out here.
Yeah,
you know, we doing our thing, and you know, support your locals too, man.
You already know, man. So until next